Another day, another GP prediction. Yeah, so Austria is up next on the calendar. The Red Bull Ring, if you will. So it's Red Bull home race, and it's kind of a Max Verstappen home race as well, but mostly a Red Bull home race. That being said, Max Verstappen has been phenomenal around here his whole career. Um, it's Max is the one to beat, I think, next week. Well, this week in Austria. Max will be the one that you want to beat. Max will be on peak performance, I think, especially after Canada. You know, plus he loses 2 penalty points off his license after Austria if he can keep it clean. So I expect Max to be definitely running in the top three all weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised with a Max Verstappen win. That being said, we got predictions to make. And with Austria, definitely one of the shorter tracks on the calendar. Um, but hey, still a fun track. Still always makes for great racing. That being said, for pole position, you know I'm giving it to Max. Max Verstappen will be probably on pole. Max will be a force around this track, and it'll be basically who can stop Max Verstappen. The race. Um, I don't see anybody putting up pole. Maybe one of the McLarens. Maybe. But, yeah. I think that the driver to beat this week is definitely Max Verstappen. And Max will go out there to prove that he's still in this championship fight. Because, like I've said, he's the best driver in the world. Right now, it's not over till it's over. And that's what people need to realize. That being said, in fifth, I got Yuki Tsunoda. I think that the Red Bull will have a good showing in its home race. I think Yuki will pick up the pieces and finally get his first top 5 of the year. And what better way to do it than in your team's home race? Maybe, maybe I'm a little too optimistic for him, but you never know. So, Yuki, P5. P4, I'm going Lando Norris. Other than his crash in Canada, he hasn't really impressed me much lately. Yeah, he won Monaco, but if Monaco was only a one-stop race, he would have never won Monaco. So you can't be like, oh, he's so back after Monaco, and then does what he does in Canada. Like, he only won Monaco because of the 2 pit stop mandate, because Verstappen was probably going to win that race if there was only 1 pit stop. And the 2 pit stop didn't even make the race more exciting. It really just kind of fucked over Max and fucked over anybody who was running decently high and who waited for a late safety car. But yeah, Lando P4. P3, I have Oscar Piastri. Again, Oscar, he's the driver to beat right now. He is number 1 in the standings for a reason. He's got that ice in his fucking veins, mate. Yeah. He'll be the driver to beat, but again, the Red Bull Ring is going to be one where Max will be on his top game, so he'll be trying to gain as much points on his 2 championship rivals that he can. Hopefully, no shenanigans happen and both McLarens don't DNF, or one McLaren DNFs again. That would kind of, that would suck, but guess we'll have to wait and see about that. But yeah, I had Oscar in P2, or 3, sorry. In P2, give me Charles Leclerc. I think Charles is overdue for a good weekend again. If he can pick the pieces up and get it good, I'd say he could finish in the top 3. I think it's very possible. that Charles does finish in the top 3 in the Red Bull Ring. Again, it's just, especially if Ferrari wants to try to stay somewhat in the constructors battle, they're going to need a good weekend out of both Lewis and Charles. And in P1, it's Max. It's Max. The answer was always Max. Max Verstappen will win the Red Bull Ring, in my opinion. He's guaranteed a top 3, I think, here. He just does so well in this race. So, yeah. I think Max Verstappen will win the Red Bull Ring. So that was my predictions for the Red Bull Ring. Stay tuned next time when I will have the next video will be the review. The race review. I've been your host Moon. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.